Chapter 90. The Double Dealing of Modern Pharisees. Modern Pharisees behave in the same refined manner as they behaved in the times of my living in the flesh. They are trying to look before men as very noble, even nobler than the then Pharisees. Therefore, they shoulder even a greater responsibility for their own double dealing. They even speak about the protection of human rights. They even set up different organizations, commissions, and institutions to ensure them. But they absolutely ignore and impudently violate themselves. If only they notice that these violations are useful for meeting their own selfish interests. They even resort to violence, to war against other unarmed or poorly armed states. They boldly sacrifice the lives of others to merely meet their selfish strivings at any cost, even at the cost of the lives of others. And this is especially characteristic of the present-day politicians and the owners of the television and radio companies. Can there be anything more cynical and cruel than to watch a war on television? A war which has been provoked on purpose and shown to the whole world to watch it and tremble without even thinking that it is the children of God who are being killed. The children of the same Father, of the Father who loves them and who has sent me to you 2,000 years ago to demonstrate to you in the language you understand and by living a life you comprehend how you must live by loving each other. And what is being done by your present-day politicians, Pharisees, and religious leaders, Pharisees? What do you all do? Those of you who tacitly agree that your brethren might be subdued to your influence merely because their religious beliefs are different, because they live in those parts of the world which are rich in oil, and in what matter? Under the camouflage slogans of a struggle against terrorism, for the insurance of human rights and protection of democracy. That is the most cruel fight of the lowest vibrations of the human ego against the higher consciousness of one's own self. So far, this fight is being unconditionally won by the low animal selves of your present-day Pharisees. And you're also being led to destruction, to that very same destruction that the Pharisees of my times have led to by their actions. You even do not give it a thought that in this manner, tacitly, watching the annihilation of your brethren in an unjust war, you suppress evermore the blooming out of your soul, and it's reigning over your animal and aggressive self, over the self which is so insensitive to love and truth, that by this you stand on the sharp edge of a blade without even understanding that you have been hypnotized by the speeches and actions of your present-day politicians, Pharisees, by the blank prayers of your present-day rabbis, priests, Pharisees, which are nothing else but the dead rituals misleading you, and in which you agree to participate of your free will, that you would annihilate your own souls. As long as there will not appear amongst you a single one who will openly and loudly begin to speak out that you must come back to your senses and turn to the Father within your own selves, that you must not remain turned away from Him while clinging merely to the dead rituals and believing in the dead truths, that long are you dangerous through yourselves. And it is just due to the fact that you have not discovered the Father within your own selves, that you do not know me either, even though your lips keep repeating my name, while your hearts do not feel a living spiritual bond with me. And it is because of this that you treat your brethren so cruelly and unjustly, who are also submerged in the dead rituals and dogmas. And due to this, they also make wrong and suicidal decisions. However, their wrong decisions do not grant you any other right but to pray for them, to love and comfort them. But that does not correspond to the definite actions designed by your political leaders, Pharisees, to satisfy their own selfish interests. You must listen to the voice of your soul, whether it is happy or sad. Once sees such actions on your world, which is as tiny as a poppy seed. You do not even perceive as to how fragile your world is, how it is easy to break the law of love, of the Father's love. Meanwhile, the principle of the cause-action-consequence is valid all the time. Do not hurt yourselves. Stop supporting such actions that make your soul weep and feel sad. And boldly submit yourselves to the leading of the Father from within, however painful might be the consequences to your body. And do not risk of the survival of your soul after the death of your material body. Nobody, absolutely nobody, can make you behave against the will of the Father's love. Remember, the Father loves all, even those who are hated by your politicians, Pharisees, who impose their decisions, and the vibrations of their consciousness, their animal consciousness, upon you, while you do not have any foundation upon which to stand, that you, while standing firmly on it, might submerge their low vibrations into your high vibrations of the Father's love, directed to their souls, so that they would open up.